Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me the co-host seats, as always, are our good friends, Mr. Darren Starling.
Hello.
And our VTuber extraordinaire, Kaaya Tianu, who is dead.
Hello. And Darren's gone.
He was switching from 3.0 to Darren is dead. But he's not dead yet.
I had to go to the original. My tablet was dead earlier, so that was the result.
But we are looking to have some fun tonight. Our friend Pin Bun might be joining us if her internet cooperates to talk more about On-Key Expo and everything that's been going on there. Kaaya is, the reason I said Kaaya is kind of dead tonight is because he just survived PAX East, which we'll find out how that went in a little while. And we'll talk anime, and I had some other topics that I thought about during the week that, I thought might be fun for us to discuss tonight. Which they don't know about yet.
Let's see. Please tell me it doesn't involve food.
It does not.
Good.
For once, it does not involve food, the topics.
You hear that, Ross? If you're listening, no food tonight.
Hello, John Knight. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a wonderful week. I know it's been kind of a crazy week for me up here, but I didn't have the excitement that Kaaya did. Kaaya's recovering from a busy weekend at PAX East. How is that?
It was awesome. I
have not made a PAX yet. I would like to at some point, but obviously with our involvement with On-Key, I only feasibly could see doing one Boston trip this year, and On-Key Expo is a higher priority on my list than PAX or Anime Boston this year. Sadly, because I would love to have gone to both.
Yep. Yeah, because PAX can get pretty crazy.
So what was some of the big takeaways from PAX East for you?
For me, was the Nemo booth. A new game coming out. It's like a creature catcher type game.
Okay.
I ran to that booth on Thursday. Got everything done. Got a nice little limited edition pin set. Got the tried a demo of the game, which was fun. I want to play it more. Still no release date on the game, and I'm sad.
I'm sure they'll figure things out and have announcements in the near future.
Yeah, they announced they're going to release it on. They announced they're going to release it on a couple more platforms during the convention, so they're getting pretty ready for launch, in my opinion. Seeing they've already had a beta, and it went pretty well. That's how I found the game, watching other people play it. They got into beta.
That's kind of how I've gotten into quite a few games recently, is just watching streamers either play it on Twitch or play it on YouTube or things like that. I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've found myself more interested in the mindless games of let's just, do something and have some fun where you don't have to put too much thought, too much strategy into it.
Yep. Yeah, because I found they had Slay the Spire, a board game, which I didn't know there was a board game. So I asked Switch about it. He's like, yeah. And he wished he got it. And I'm like, I'm going to buy this because I actually got to play it there. They're going to have an expansion next year. So they were showing off the expansion, but they were selling the collector's edition of the base game at the convention.
Awesome. Hello, Nunya. Nunya Business in the chat, and Ross. Nunya says Komodo Gaming was at PAX this year.
Yep.
What are they known for?
I don't know. I go for the really niche type of games. So I was like, I went to the Nice booth, NIS, bought some stuff from them, played a few games.
Because I've only been to like one true gaming convention, and that was one up in Syracuse. And I was only there for like a few hours to get a couple of autographs and see what a gaming convention was like. I've never been to a PAX. I know PAX is huge.
I still think it's considered the second busiest convention in Boston, other than the marathon. Not busiest convention, busiest event.
Nunya says Beam MG drive games and some Let's Plays. Beam is a driving simulator, so that I might like it.
There were a couple that they had actually like a race car like setup there. I wonder if that might have been booth.
Potentially.
Like PAX is always overwhelming for me. There's so many booths.
Yeah. Hello to everybody who's tuning in. If you're in the chat, hello. If you're tuning in through Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, welcome to Anime-Zing Radio if this is your first time. Tonight, we're just kind of talking about conventions, some of the animes that we've been trying to keep up with this season. We know the spring season is starting, the winter season is just about over. I think Friday was the last episode of Free Run, which it has been announced for season 3, but you've got to wait until 2027. I think it was October 2027 it was announced. Wow. Anya says Komodo's tag is a cheeseburger, so maybe that was him. So if you saw a cheeseburger at PAX.
I can't remember.
Sometimes 4 days just blend into one.
Yes.
And you're like,
especially right now, I'm out of it. It was a long 4 days.
And you said that you had met some VTubers at PAX as well?
Yep, they had a VTuber meetup today, which was nice. Basically, we had a room for like an hour and a half. We all just talked with each other.
Oh, that's cool. Was there a bunch of people that showed up, or?
Yeah, a bunch of people showed up. I only knew like 2 of them.
But it's got to be neat to be able to connect with other, creators, and especially get to meet new people who might be just starting out or have established themselves over the past few years.
Yep. Well, it just reminds me is I really don't know many English local VTubers compared to I know everybody I know is out of this country. Like the Kristaras, the Mary.
Yeah.
That I talk to constantly. Everybody's out of country.
I was happy I was actually able to catch Kristara's stream today for quite a bit. I lurked in it through I think probably most of the afternoon.
Yeah, most of it. That was in it the whole time.
I hopped on a little bit late. I was also doing some other things. I didn't get home from running errands and stuff until close to 2:00. So, and then it was, try to get some things organized and plan stuff for the show and make sure that I got information over, because got guest ideas that I wanted to give to Anki, and fingers crossed that things work out there, because it would be great if the person that I have in mind is able to attend.
One thing I learned today is I need business cards. I need my own too.
I was going to say you need business cards for Kaaya, the VTuber, and business cards for AZR.
Yep.
So you can do double promotion. Which at some
Luckily, I brought my hat that had my name on it, so I just had everybody take a picture of my hat.
There you go.
It worked.
Hey. And sometimes something that simple is the best word of mouth.
Yep.
And what's new with Darren?
Nothing. Just working. Spring is in full swing here, so busy, trying to keep up on anime, and then basically coming home and crashing instead.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I was telling them off before we went on air that this past week, the job I was on, basically I get to the hotel at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then get called to come out of the hotel at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and basically spend 90% of my time sleeping, which leaves very little time to watch anime. It seems like the jobs I've been on for the past 3, 4 months have been the jobs where I don't spend that much time in the hotels awake. So I haven't been able to keep up on stuff.
I think I caught up. I just have. No, I'm all caught up. I finished everything.
I've got one episode.
I did start a new one because the cheat skill, as Ross said, cheat skill in another world, but became unraveled in this world. The special came out on Crunchyroll for that.
Okay, so I need to go watch that.
Yeah, that came. I thought it was tomorrow.
I watched season 1 of that, so I probably should go watch it, right?
Yep. Yeah, they definitely, the special definitely puts it, they could go with a season 2 with this now.
Well, the part that sucks is you don't, like, a lot of animes, you used to always be excited for, like, the OVAs that would come out.
Yep.
And now it just feels like anime has kind of fallen away from a lot of OVAs in comparison to what they used to. I mean, heck, To Love Ru had as many OVAs as a whole season. Same thing with Kiss X Sis.
And OVAs are nice, like they can bridge a gap between series, like seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you something to watch while they work on the next part.
And
I miss those days.
They could be a recap, or they could legit be stuff that happens, like you said, in between seasons, or they could be complete side stories or spin-offs.
Yeah. Kind of like, when pre-run ended Friday, and season 3 is not coming out until October of 2027. Having some OVAs in there can keep the hype going and keep people interested in seeing, more of what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing could be said. I mean, we've had enough talk about Attack on Titan, but there was a long stretch where you had nothing from them, and then it was like, oh, let's release it in part 1 and part 2 and part 38. And it's like if they put some of that stuff out as OVAs, I think it might have been received better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because the old school anime fans who remember the OVAs, you didn't expect as much out of the OVAs. A lot of times it was filler stuff. It was, in some cases, more ecchi. In some cases, just, oh, here's a side story. It kind of, pieces some things together, but the ending is this. And, you were able to get, in some cases, a continuation of a favorite character or some closure on a storyline that they didn't really tie up. And you don't, like you said, we don't see that anymore.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Eminence Shadow will be out next year.
Yes.
When I got home, I was going through my YouTube and I saw all the specials for all the new animes coming out. I follow all the Japanese YouTubes.
That's how I used to get my info. I've created a Twitter account specifically for that so I could get the news faster than everyone else. That was back when we used to compete. Back when we wouldn't get in trouble for posting certain stuff.
It won't be subtitled or dubbed, but it's a trailer, so I don't expect to understand most of this what's being said.
I don't understand what's being said, but you still get an idea of, okay, this is what the art style is like. This is what you can expect for a battle sequence or things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, because we should start seeing a lot of new series start within the next few days.
Yeah.
Anytime now.
And I've got to figure out what my schedule is for next week so we can figure out when to do our 12-year anniversary show. Because next Monday is 12 years for Anime-Zing Radio.
Have to figure it out before Thursday or before me and Angela leave.
That's the sad part. So basically, my measure of years of listening to the show and being a part of the show is also the same amount of years I've started working at Bojangles within a month of each other. I started Bojangles a month before the show started.
Wow. That's crazy. It's still crazy to think, here we are 12 years later, and we're still going and still, we're changing, the guests that we've been having on. We're trying to ebb and flow with what's popular, what's the new thing, trying to keep up with stuff. I mean, we were an anime talk show before anime was really, really live stream. When you think back to 2014, anime was starting to pick up steam.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've kind of switched gears from having a ton of voice acting guests to right now VTubing is picking up steam and becoming more popular. So we've kind of switched gears and getting more VTubers on and doing stuff in that genre. And from what I've experienced talking with a lot of VTubers, there's so many talented ones out there, thanks to, people like Kaaya and Akio and some of Kristara, who we've had on the show, and some of the others. It's a whole interesting world.
Yep.
And it's fun to try to explain what a VTuber is to somebody who has no clue. Especially like in my line of work, a lot of the people I work with know nothing of anime or VTubing or things of that nature. And here I am talking about, I have a VTubing guest coming on. What's a VTuber? It's a YouTuber, but instead of seeing the person themselves, you see an animated character that they've come up with or was designed for them.
Yep.
Ross in the chat says, speaking of VTubers, Doug, Kaaya, and Darren, who would you most want to interview if you could on the show?
To be frank with you, I still don't watch VTubers like that. So honestly, no idea. Very few appear in my newsfeed, and the ones that do, might be interesting, but
I mean, top on my list would probably be Iron Mouse. I just have a ton of respect for her as a creator, what she's been able to do, in her personal life to overcome health issues and stuff. The fact that she's used VTubing as a platform to help educate and entertain people, as opposed to allowing health issues to keep her down. And, so many people have issues in life that hold them back, and she found a way to overcome that. And even as issues have continued to arise, over the past couple of years, she has still maintained a positive influence and positive outlook in a time when most people would crumble. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for her as a person for her as a streamer. It's amazing what she's been able to accomplish. What about you?
I have a toss between a few, but I would really like to have Yuka VT on the show.
Make it happen.
I could try.
Nothing's impossible.
I mean, I have sent messages out to a few different people. The way I look at it, what's the worst that can happen? They say, we're sorry, we're not interested.
Yep.
But if you don't try, you don't even get that far. So.
Mm-hmm.
Even I've had a few of those. Yeah, sorry, not interested right now. Like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Keywords right now.
Yep, and I just leave it at that, and then...
Yeah.
You never want to push.
No.
You don't want to be too pushy.
Ross says that he recently came across a VTuber a few days ago named Stellatrix, a spaceship VTuber. I don't know that name. That could be an interesting one to watch. I know that that recently I have been enjoying Cypro VT and Mochi Pan VT. They're usually late night streamers or late evening streamers. When they collab together, it's usually very entertaining. And I know the other day I was watching Akio Kumi. She was collabing with, is it Mystic Wisp or something like that?
Yep, Wisp.
They were streaming a horror game, and it was very entertaining. Some of the comments that came from that was absolutely priceless.
I was watching that in the hotel room.
So you probably saw some of my comments in there.
Yep. And my roommate was like, what the hell's going on?
You're like, oh, it's just some friends of mine.
That game is actually really scary, though.
Yeah. I was watching watching them play, and I'm like, a lot of times I'll be listening to it, and I'll just hear the reactions and hear them screaming and stuff. I sent you a picture, Kai. I'll send it to Darren too. There was one instance where Wisp told Aki, "Hey, you're staring at my chest," and Aki's like, "On my stream, I'm staring at chat." But on Wisp's stream, because I had both windows open, because sometimes one goes to a commercial break and you can get the audio from the other one. So I like to watch both aspects just for that reason. Plus, I like supporting a lot of the streamers, a lot of the VTubers out there, very talented. They put a lot of time and effort into the content that they put out. To some people, it looks like they're just playing a game and chatting. But as Kaaya can confirm, there's a lot that goes into even setting that up.
Yep.
And as a streaming platform, somebody who has been doing internet radio and podcasting for well over 20 years, I can understand how much work goes in behind and appreciate what they do. Which is why I was really excited when Kai introduced me to Anki Expo last year.
I remember who... Someone I know mentioned it on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, what's this?
And I was like, oh, okay. I should tell Duck about that. And here we are, getting ready to have everybody in attendance for the first time in AZR history. Because Darren's going to be coming up as well, and we're excited to have him up there.
Mm-hmm. Finally. It only took how many years?
Well, let's see. What the last convention that you were getting ready to book a flight for was Anime Boston 2020, and we all know what happened there.
Yep.
Yep.
The world changed after that.
I remember that year because PAX happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, right after PAX, everything shut down.
Anime Boston was like the first major anime convention to be affected. And I was pissed because it was the first time that we had been accepted as press. They had the English and Japanese voice actor for one of my favorite characters from Food Wars both of them were gonna be there. And I really wanted to try to get a Japanese, voice actor's autograph. And that usually doesn't happen because for a long time I just watched English dub. I still don't know many of the Japanese voice actors. I watch a lot more stuff in Japanese, but I can't tell you who voices the characters as well as I can with the English side.
I couldn't tell you either side.
I also went into it, 12 years of doing this show, watching it in English, finding the English dub voice actors so we could have them on the show to talk with them about their work and the characters that they voiced and stuff. I didn't think that there was much chance of getting Japanese voice actors on at the time, especially not knowing what the time difference was between Tokyo and here. And I'm sure not every voice actor in Japan lives in Tokyo. But understanding, I think it's like a 13 or 14-hour difference they're ahead of us.
Yeah, it's just think of it like they're a day ahead of you.
Yeah.
Typically.
Because I think when we start at 8 p.m. Eastern here, it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo. So it's like 13 hours ahead.
Yeah, that's just the rule of thumb.
They're in the future.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. My friends, when I was part of the Facebook communities back in the day, we had a common saying, "Good morning from future people," because I had friends over the international date line. So Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, it became a regular trend, like "Hello from the future."
Yeah, it's funny. I get when birthday comes around, I'll get people who the day before will send happy birthdays. It'll be happy birthday from the day before.
Yep.
Where I'm at, it's your birthday. Where you're at, it's not yet.
Yeah, because I'm still friends with people I went to Japan. When I went to Japan on the trip, and they're from Australia, and it's like usually like the day before they send me a message. I'm like, not my birthday yet.
Joey, the anime man? No.
I wish.
I wish. I'd be like, if you were friends,
I think I'd get more along with Pete though.
Oh, Pete's great.
Yeah, I get really along with Pete. But I feel like me and him would have kind of like the same mindset.
Yeah. Nanya says, so could they give me tomorrow's lotto numbers?
I can ask.
It worked that way.
I wish it worked that way.
It could be.
John Knight says he's got 2 more months until his birthday month. I have got less than a week. My birthday is coming up next weekend.
Mine was last month.
It's gonna be old.
I am gonna be old. I'm gonna be 48.
It's gonna be old, chat.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm gonna be 48, but that does bring up the question: Do we ever really get too old to enjoy anime, go to conventions, do VTubing stuff? Is there ever a time when we are just too old to be a part of the community.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think so, but I also know that, you know, as I've grown older, my tastes in anime have definitely changed. Stuff that I loved when I first started watching it, I've kind of gotten out of. Nanya says, "Happy birthday." Yeah, I'm 44, did yard work today, and it sucked. I have a very physical job, and I have 20 more years that I probably have at least 20 more years before I can even think about retiring. So the best I can hope for is that the people in front of me retire quickly and I move up to engineer. Because once I'm engineer, I can sit on my ass and have the easy end, as opposed to walking around and doing all the switching and stuff like that. But I do enjoy my job. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy working for the railroad.
Murder, She Wrote. Oh my God, Ross. Oh, that show. Oh God.
Oh, God,
I know that one.
I think my mother used to watch that, Murder, She Wrote.
I used to watch it all the time.
I never got into it.
It was good. I liked it.
So
Reboot movie.
Reboot movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is doing the lead. It was Angela. What was her name? Angela something was the actress who was the lead in that. I can't remember her last name.
I can't either.
But it's Lansbury. Thank you, Ross. Angela Lansbury. Because I remember seeing that used to come on at like 8 o'clock at night. And I think it was my mom who liked it.
Honestly, I was watching that in Happy Days.
Oh, Happy Days. I loved Happy Days.
Sunday, Monday, Happy Days.
Oh, the song is fantastic.
Saturday, what a day.
Working all week for you. These days are ours. You can't go too far because copyrights.
Yep. Channel taken down for copyright infringement. Ah,
because of bad singing.
You butchered the song. Rainy's gonna smite me.
I know all your VTuber friends are gonna be like, "Wait, Kaaya sang?"
I'd say Gavin can't be the only one to sing.
When we had Scott Hare on, he's got the proof of me singing 3 parody songs when I was with Crossing the Void Radio as Doogie Stardust.
Oh my.
And it was all for the old Hazy Radio Network. So there is proof out there of me actually singing parody songs. In which I had to learn like one of the songs we did was science fiction double feature from oh crap, I'm forgetting the name of the movie. It was the one that I'm trying just drawing blanks all over the place now. What was the name of that movie? Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's it. So I had to learn that song, having never seen the movie, and only knowing of that song because of people having played it for me in the past. So I think it was like in 3 weeks' time, I learned the song by heart so that I could learn new words for the song and sing it. And I think in about a 2-hour span one night, we recorded it. Scott Hare edited it, and then we aired it during Crossing the Void shortly thereafter.
Oh, wow.
So I had to do that one. We did a Christmas song. I had to do a Christmas song. That was like a parody. And we did a the Ground Control to Major Tom. We parodied that one as well. And all of those were based around other radio personalities that were at Hazy Radio at the time, which was a lot of fun. I did have fun with that. Ross says that he did watch a little on TV Land, seeing Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, and Happy Days as a kid. So he knows those shows. And Happy Days, they who was it? Weezer did a song, Buddy Holly, that was set at Arnold's restaurant in their music video. So they have some old Happy Days clips, and it's like Weezer's playing, it is singing at the restaurant with all the Happy Days characters, different clips of them being there and people dressed in the old, 50s and 60s outfits and stuff. I like the song. I love the video because it reminded me of watching Happy Days. I also remember like the A-Team, which was great. I watched MASH, MacGyver, Chips. You guys remember Chips?
Yep.
I enjoyed that one.
I'd say I know the majority of these shows, but I didn't watch them except for like a handful.
And another topic that I had thought about, and this is something that I've seen on a couple of different VTubers, Discords, and things of that nature. But everybody remembers the big issue that happened last year with Iron Mouse and the company that she worked for not paying charity when she had raised money for a charity. I've noticed that there are some platforms that, content creators make money on raising money for a charity, and then those platforms not doing it either, not paying paying the charity the money that was earned by the streamer. I was curious, what's your guys' opinions on that?
I would always set up a link directly to the charity and research the charity before I did anything. Because most every charity will give you a direct link. If you're saying I'm streaming for charity, they'll set it up for you.
Because I've never really streamed for charity, so I don't know much of what goes on behind, but I see it all the time. There's always content creators, YouTubers. We see CDawg VA do a bike-a-thon for 3 weeks across Japan to raise money for the IDF, and Iron Mouse has raised money for IDF. And I've seen American Heart Association and different things that other VTubers who have a decent following have tried to set up to raise money for different charities. But I've never really looked into, partially because I don't have the time, especially with this job, to be able to set up and help out with stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure when Connor does it, it's a direct link.
Yeah, I think so. I think he does do a direct link, but I just remember like the big deal of like Iron Mouse and everything she went through. It was like $500,000 that didn't get paid to the IDF that she had raised, which that's pretty substantial.
Oh yeah,
especially considering the fact of all the stuff that Iron Mouse, and we know many other VTubers who have health issues. And they VTube because of the health issues, whether it be a physical ailment, medical things. In Iron Mouse's case, she's, publicly said, I was hooked to machines, and rather than explain every 30 seconds why I have an IV in my arm or things of that nature, she decided to go the VTuber route because, it's less invasive. You can stay anonymous unless the VTuber chooses to do a face reveal, which some do, some don't. I'm.
Yep.
I mean, in some ways, Darren could be a VTuber because he very rarely does a face reveal.
Possible, but no.
We should figure out a way of setting up like a little 2D character for Darren just to have something up there.
I mean, you could.
I think we know enough. I think we know enough people that could help with that. Kaaya looks deep in thought. How can we make this happen? I just see the eyes moving.
Oh no, I'm just typing something on my other computer. I have two computers, and the keyboard for the second one's like over in the other side.
Well, I'm poking fun because I'm watching your eyes moving. So and you look like you're deep in thought. Like
Always deep in thought.
Now, what would you say would be? We like to do top 5 lists and stuff on the show from time to time. We haven't done it in a while, but what would you say would be like one of your top 5 favorite shows that's come out in the past like 4 or 5 years? I'll say since 2020.
2020.
And I'm so nice just springing this on you now. No planning ahead. Let's just. What would you put out there?
Well, one of them would be Sentenced to Be a Hero. Eminence of Shadow. I really like that one.
For next season?
Well, you said from 2020, so.
Well, 2020 on.
Yeah.
From 2020 to current.
Which ones have stuck out the most, or the ones that
Yeah.
are continuing?
Just what shows that you've enjoyed. They could be continuing. They could be ended.
What year was Bo Fury?
What was that, Aaron?
What year was Bo Fury?
Bo Fury?
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that like 21?
Bo Fury came out in 2020 because I remember that it was getting English dubbed and COVID hit and split that up.
Okay.
Say Wand and Sword.
Dress Up Darling, season 1, Call of the Night.
Shangri-La Frontier. That would be my 5.
Let's see. Slime, more slime.
So yeah, winter 2020 started Bo Fury.
Okay.
So like looking back, and I will open this tab up so all of our wonderful viewers out there can see it as well. Let's take a trip down memory lane. When did certain shows come out?
I see toilet. And Dora Hetero.
So we have, back in winter of 2020, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun came out. Doro Hedoro. That was, good God, Darren, what the hell?
You're welcome.
What in the actual hell? And of course, it's a Studio Mappa, which is what, like, the art was really good. It's just not, like, I watched this going, my God, I think Darren did the impossible. Put something up that I hate, that I couldn't watch, and Angela put something up that I considered continuing.
Well, it's not often I put up a show that you can't watch and Angela loves.
Yeah. Well, Fury came out back then. Certain Scientific Railgun T. I don't even remember that one.
Oh, wow. Yep. That was 2020?
Yeah. Infinite Dendrogram. I remember starting that, but because of COVID, I didn't finish it. Seton Academy. That one I enjoyed. Yep. That had a really good I love the opening sound, the opening music for that. Isekai Quartet 2.
Of course, because speaking of which, are you excited for season 4 of Quartet?
Of course. Neko Para was
Yep.
2020. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's that old. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Smile Down the Runway. I remember when this came out, because I was watching so many shows, and Smile Down the Runway was probably like
Your hidden gem.
the hidden gem. It was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting much from it, and it turned out to be a fantastic show.
What else we got?
Asteroid in Love.
Kaaya Camp.
A Destructive God Sits Next to Me. Why do I not remember that? 22/7 I've heard of, but never watched. Bang
Not
Dream
familiar.
3rd season. Oh, Budokan. If my favorite pop idol made it to the Budokan, I would die. That was an entertaining one. Did you watch that one, Kaaya?
No.
That's shocking, actually.
You might enjoy that one.
Because I was watching Bang Dream.
You were watching Bang Dream.
Yep. That's probably why I never watched that one.
I think you would enjoy it if you went back to watch it. I know my wife watched Hatina Illusion. Uchitama, Have You Seen My Tama? I started and lost interest. Oh my god, Show by Rock Mashumai Resh came out.
Oh, 2020 was when Healing Good Precore came out. Holy crap.
So 2020 was Mashumai Resh too. And you guys know how much I loved that series. And then we're getting into the blast stuff. Continuing, One Piece, My Hero Academia Season 4, Black Clover, Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun was continuing. Seven Deadly Sins was continuing. Boruto, Fate, Case Closed.
Is that Slam Dunk? No.
No, that was
Kuroko no Basket? No.
Hero no Sora.
Okay, so a different one all entirely.
Yeah.
Azure Lane.
Crayon Shin-chan. So that was all stuff that was going on back in 2020. Looking back at some of the stuff, it's like, my God, that's when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which both Fury was fantastic. Show by Rock, Mashumai Resh, I liked better than the original Show by Rock. In spring, Kami-sama Love is War, or Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Peak. Was that the one that broke the internet?
I think so.
Which season was that? Was that season 4?
Or
season 3? Excuse me.
I'm not sure.
Season 3. Because one of those broke the internet for very obvious reasons.
We had Food Wars Season 5. Tower of God came out in the spring of 2020. Fruits Basket second season, so the remake of Fruits Basket, which I still haven't finished. Gleipnir, I remember a lot of people liked that one. All of this...
Gleipnir was interesting. I wish they'd continued it.
And this might have... Is this the start of the whole villainous
the start
arc?
Of the villainous thing, yep.
So that...
I watched season 1, but not season 2.
I watched season 1 of that, and it wasn't that bad. So that started April 5th of 2020. So the villainous arcs have been going since 2020. Princess Connect Redive, that was okay.
That was fun.
The Eighth Son, are you kidding me? Ascendance of a Bookworm, Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Arte, my wife enjoyed that one. I started it, but I don't know why I didn't continue, if it was lack of time or what.
Sugimomo Season 2. Oh, so this is when Jasheen came out. Okay. Dropkick on My Devil. Yeah, this season I didn't watch a whole lot.
Sorry about that. I had gotten a message that I had to go and respond to. Listeners, we've got Dropkick on My Devil, I didn't watch.
You know, that was an entirely crowd-funded anime.
Dropkick on My Devil?
Uh-huh. That started off on Kickstarter, I think.
Interesting. Major second season. Yeah, I don't think I watched much this particular season. Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Fight Vanguard. Yeah, because I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, I don't remember watching hardly any of this. Continuations, One Piece, Black Clover, Boruto, Plunderer. I know a lot of people who enjoyed that one. I didn't watch that.
Plunderer was eh. It was meh at best.
Hatina Illusion continued on. It's kind of funny just to go back and look in time and be like, this is when that came out? Going to summer of 2020. Rent a Girlfriend.
The start of...
Yeah, the start of the biggest troll anime.
Mm-hmm. ReZero.
Season 2.
Misfit of Demon King Academy, which I paused on because during the interruptions in broadcasting.
Yeah.
And Oregaru's final season, which was peak.
And we have a wild Hex has appeared.
It is Hex.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Thank you for coming on and joining us. It's great to have you on.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
What? And I know we've been in talks about Pin possibly joining us to, chat anime and stuff and see how Anki's been going. I know we're closing in. It seems so far away, yet so close.
Yeah, it's coming on fast. Yeah, she is having internet issues tonight, so I'm the emergency substitute.
That's totally fine. We love having you guys on. It's been a bit since we've been able to have like a good update of everything going on. I also wish you the best of luck with the contact info that I was able to send to her about potential guest for Anki.
Yeah, I saw that. That would be exciting.
Which, fingers crossed, if that works out, it'll be wonderful to actually be at a convention with that person, because we've known her for 12 years.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We were her first official radio interview when she started her voice acting career.
That's really neat.
So, fingers crossed if that works out, and was able to see her a couple weeks ago at ZenkaiCon.
Yeah, we would love to have them out. Yeah, I didn't even know they had been voice acting that long, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the only reason I know how long they've been voice acting is because they were. I think we had them on the show within our first year of existence, and we turned 12 next week. So it's like
you guys have been doing this a long time too, then.
Yeah, I look at the calendar and go, oh my God, Monday is 12 years of this show. I started April 6th, 2014.
Wow.
And our first guest was Kia Ballard.
That's
You talk,
yeah. No,
talk
no,
about
sorry.
setting a, I was gonna say, talk about setting a high standard right off the bat.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good way to just come, running out of the gate there.
And then through the years, we ended up having a lot. I mean, we were talking a little earlier before you asked about coming on and hanging out with us about, looking back to when we started or when I started the podcast back in 2014, anime was just starting its upswing. You didn't see the amount of, voice talent that you do now. Anime wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
Back then you had probably like 20 or 30 voice actors that appeared in just about everything for English stuff. We were just seeing the new crop come in, then the Megan Shipmans, Morgan Berries, Anthony Bowlings, the next generation, I think I called them at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was you still had Todd Habercorn, J. Michael Tatum, Monica Rial, and everything, and you still have them in a lot of stuff now. But you also see a lot of new faces and voices and stuff.
Yeah, anime has definitely grown in popularity a lot recently. I remember when I got into it, it was not that popular. It did not make me cool for enjoying it.
Yeah, I was thankfully when I got into anime, I was already out of school.
Okay.
And I was in the working world, which made it even more bizarre because I was older. I was in my 20s and 30s getting into anime as opposed to a teenager. And
Yeah,
we used to watch anime playing. I can remember it was at a friend's house. Wednesday nights we would have poker night. We would play Texas Hold'em with pennies. And they would have Adult Swim on, and so that was my introduction to Inuyasha, Witch Hunter Robin, Fooly Cooly, stuff like that. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. Then, I fell out of anime, met a girl, got married. When that marriage started going into the toilet, I discovered Netflix and discovered Rosario Vampire, which got me back into anime. Yeah, DxD came later. Because I remember like it was Rosario Vampire, which was like, oh, because you watched this, check out this show. And not knowing any better, I watched Girls Bravo, and then which led eventually to like DxD, and it's been all some people might say uphill or downhill from there.
Right. Yeah, I remember the early days of Adult Swim. That was I never had that channel. I forget what channel it was on, but the first anime I ever watched was Sailor Moon. And I did not enjoy it at first, but then I forced myself to watch an entire episode, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And then I went from Sailor Moon immediately into Dragon Ball Z, and that was just kind of like my addiction for a while. I would get online and find everything I could, and yeah, I did not have Adult Swim. I had to go to my friend's house to watch all that era of TV. So yeah, it was hard finding anime in the dial-up era.
Yeah, Adult Swim was on Cartoon Network and started at like 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I never had Cartoon Network.
I
remember there was some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm about to say I grew up with PBS and whatever aired on the free channels.
Now you've had some good stuff going on with On Key. I see some posts on like the Discord server and stuff like that. What can you tell our viewers who might be interested in coming out to check out On Key? I'm sure there are some things that need to stay, under wraps, but I'm sure there's plenty of announcements, guests, or different vendors or things that you can talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of good progress on Key. We're working on finalizing a lot of things right now, so I am hesitant to say exactly too much. But yeah, things are looking pretty good. We have started working with a lot of people in the VR space, VR chat specifically. So we are opening up to the VTubers in that area, and we have met some pretty cool people there and some pretty cool connections. And we're going to try and do a lot with that lately. Yeah, right now it's just a lot of the kind of, or at least the part I'm involved in is just more of the like boring logistics and finances stuff. So the business side of the convention aspect. But no, we have had a lot of interesting guests and stuff sign up, and we're trying to get all that organized, who goes where and what times, and yeah, there's a lot to this, but I think it's going to be a really fun and memorable experience.
Oh, definitely. And not this weekend, but last weekend I was at Zenkai Con up here in Pennsylvania and was doing some promotions for Anki. And Friday I was walking around with Akio on a tablet where we were promoting Anki and stuff like that, and getting people exposed, some new people exposed to the world of VTubing, and trying to build up some excitement for the convention, especially being a first time VTuber convention on the East Coast, first year for you guys. And you guys have so much work that you're doing behind the scenes. You know, hats off to you guys for everything you're doing to build up to this. And I'm really, really hoping that it's a successful event for you guys and something that we can share, you know, work together with for years to come.
That's my goal. Yeah, we have a really good, dedicated team of people who just want to see it happen. They believe in it as much as Pin and I do. So I think we're going to try our best, and people are going to see the results of that. I think it's going to be fun.
Oh, definitely. And you know, we're excited because Anki's going to be historical for Anime-Zing Radio, because it's going to be the first time that all four hosts will be in the same location at the same time.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's a milestone for everybody then.
Because Darren has been able to get the time off currently, so he can come up from North Carolina.
Okay, I was about to ask if you guys are in a similar location, but it sounds like that's still a little bit of a haul for you. But I'm glad you'll be there. It'll be nice to meet everybody.
Darren will be coming up from North Carolina. I'll be coming from Pennsylvania, and Kaaya and Angela both live in the Boston area.
Yep.
So slightly easier journey for you guys.
Probably the funniest part is I've been to a convention with Angela and I've been to a convention with Doug, but not the two at the same time. They both made their way down here.
Okay, so yeah, everybody will be in one space finally.
And I'm looking forward to being able to cover it as well as we can, live streaming and everything else. And you know, I know it's going to be a good time. And I've seen, you know, some of the behind the scenes of how hard you guys are working to get everything, you know, questions answered and logistics and stuff. And having talked to so many people who have done conventions in the past, I have a decent understanding of what goes on behind the scenes. And I laugh when people look at me and go, "Why don't you put on your own convention?" I don't have the money. I don't have the time. And when I did have time, I talked to people and everybody said the same thing. Don't do it.
It's a learning experience. Yeah. I'm not going to tell people not to do it, because I mean, we're doing it. I mean, if you have a good group of people and the dedication, you can, but it definitely takes dedication. It is a time sink, and it is a learning experience. Do not go into it expecting it to be easy. Yeah.
No. I know one person that used to run conventions in New England. He said it was basically a second full-time job just for promotions and organizing and all the logistics behind the scenes and stuff.
Oh, just my part alone takes every ounce of spare time when I'm at home. Yeah, I do not have a moment when I'm not just answering a Discord or reaching out to somebody via email, or it's a lot to do with, especially with a full-time job. Like I said, luckily we have a very good team of people. They are also all over the country, so I'm excited to meet them too. It's been really fun getting to know my team after working on this project together with them. So yeah, without them, like if I was trying to do this by myself, it would not happen.
Oh yeah. Will you guys be appearing at Anime Boston next weekend?
Yes, we will be at Anime Boston. Pinbun will be there, and another very prominent member of our team will be there. And we will have a booth. They will be representing Anki at Anime Boston.
Oh, that's fantastic. That makes me wish that I could go, but unfortunately, I can only afford one trip to Boston this year, and Anki was a higher priority.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to be able to get out to some of these too, but yeah. Anki is not my full-time job. I have to prioritize that, unfortunately.
Oh, same. But I do know that next week they can expect visits from Kaaya and Angela because both will be in attendance at Anime Boston.
Perfect. I'll tell Pinbun to keep an eye out for you guys.
The burning question: should Kaaya bring ball pit balls for her?
Oh, we are not in charge of any ball pits that may or may not exist at Anime Boston.
I wonder what would happen if I did bring. I just came up with just like a handful of them.
And I only asked if he had told me he thought about doing that before.
Hey, get enough people to do that, and you can start your own little ball pit at Anime Boston.
It'd be like the guy at Kineticon that swims in the ball pit.
Question from Ross for you, Hex, asking, fan of Digimon or Pokemon?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was on when I was later in middle school, 7th or 8th grade. Pokemon was another early anime of mine. I loved the games. I have played every generation. I play a lot of the offshoots. I am currently playing Pokopia when I can find a spare minute here or there. So Pokemon for me. In fact, it was one of those things where I saw the rivalry between them when I was younger. So I was very anti-Digimon, which is silly, but because I did eventually give it a go, and it's pretty fun too. But no, I'm more of a Pokemon guy to this day.
I never got into Digimon, but I definitely got into Pokemon. I kind of fell off around when they made the move to the Switch because I never moved consoles.
Okay, yeah.
I
liked a lot of the earlier games, but yeah, the Switch has some pretty good ones on it. The Switch games have maybe been some of my favorite, and I know I'm an old school Pokemon people, and old school Pokemon people aren't supposed to say that, but I've really enjoyed some of the Switch games that Pokemon have put out lately.
Well, I'd say I'm old-ish, but honestly I'm a Gen 3. Like that's my region. That's my favorites.
Okay. I was 10 or 11 when Red and Blue hit America, and I was playing right from the get-go there.
I was 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, my back.
And Ross says,
making me feel old.
Trust me, I know old. I will be 48 next Saturday.
I'm right behind you.
And Angela's not on the show because I know she's not far behind me as well, because I could give her crap too. And Ross in the chat says, so for Pokemon, who is your favorite? His is Melioda.
Melioda? That's a cute one.
Meloetta?
Meloetta, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Meloetta.
Which form, Ross?
Important question.
Because I like, for me, it's like, okay, what's your favorite Pokemon? I'm basic. Give me Squirtle, give me Eevee, Vulpix.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way too. Again, when I was younger, I used to have this weird mentality about things, so I refused to like any Pokemon that I saw as being overpowered. So I was a very anti-starter. I would replace them with another element of Pokemon anytime I got that element. I was very anti-legendary, pseudo-legendary. So my very first early favorite Pokemon was Magmar. So I was a Magmar fan, and I held on to Magmar all the way until I got a dog that looked like Snubble, and that dog was my best friend. So he even had the little underbite that Snubble has. He was gray, so he looked like shiny Snubble. I named my shiny Snubble after my dog Pepper, and ever since then, I'm just a Snubble fan. As I'm staring ahead of me right now, I've got 2 little Snubble action figures sitting beside my computer. So Snubble for me.
I don't want to say what I have staring at me for figures on my desk right now.
Oh no.
I have Freerin and Mau.
I mean, also good choices. But
I'm not a pop figure fan, but I found a Freerin pop figure, so
okay,
went that route because I just really, really enjoy the series, and you can't go wrong with Mau.
Mm-hmm.
Which this was probably the best looking figure that they had at Zenkai Con of Mau. I saw like 5 or 6 different ones.
Those look good.
And the fact that Emmy Lowe, the voice actress of Mau, was there, of course, I had to get a Mau figure. I was good. I only got 1 figure from the con. Still spent way too much money because I also got an autograph, stickers, an art piece of Mau.
Right.
If
you're going to a convention, you got to spend money and have fun, though. That's just expected.
I bought a $60 mystery box because I love getting the mystery boxes, and opening them up on the show because you never know what kind of trinkets you're going to get in there. It's usually good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not as crazy as Darren is, though.
Yes, I'm the crazy one when it comes to various things at conventions.
Because didn't you and Angela go in on a $500 mystery bag?
Ooh, okay.
I think we did. Was it $500?
I thought you said it was a $500 mystery box. It was like 5 or 6.
Jesus.
For me, that is a lot for anything, let alone something you don't even know what's going to be in it. That is, that's a hefty gamble. I really hope that paid off for you.
Oh, it did. It got Doug a.
I have an Amelia head that's behind me. You can't see it on the shelf back there, but I have a big bust of Amelia from ReZero. I've got a figure for Angela of Todoroki sitting beside me that Darren had dropped off for me to give to her.
I'm trying to remember what I grabbed out of it. What I ended up grabbing out of that.
I think you grabbed a couple of things out of there, and then I have a bunch of stuff that was in that's part of our giveaway package for Anki for donations for either charity auction or however you guys want to use them.
Right, so that's where those came from, huh?
Did I give you Chaika?
The DVD's in there, still sealed.
Okay.
Or I think it was a Blu-ray.
Yep.
And then there's other stuff that's going to be added to that. Part of the reasons I like the mystery boxes too is because I can use them as prizes and giveaways to people who come when we table, or I said I want to help out your event to be as good as it can be.
Yeah, that's cool. We appreciate that.
And Ross says for original form, but pirouette form is also amazing.
They're both good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like she looks like a pop idol, but in pirouette form, she's a fighting ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because when she changes form, she goes to psychic fighting, if I remember correctly, right?
I think that's correct. Yeah, I'm gonna, after about 3rd generation, my in-depth knowledge falls off, and it's just like, oh yeah, which one is that? Oh yeah, I remember seeing them in the game. I'm more of that kind of. After about 3rd generation, I quit trying to memorize it all.
I hear. My memory goes fairly well up until about Gen 5, and then it starts becoming spotty. But Gens 1 through 4, I got you.
Got it.
I would say you kind of hit me earlier when you said you had to exclude legendary starters and pseudos because my favorites are all that. So I had to be like, okay, who's my favorite non-pseudo legendary?
See, a lot of people really like those, and I think maybe that's part of why I do that, because I am a very contrarian person, especially when I was younger. If it was popular, I could not like it. That was just my weird quirk.
Well, you sound like Angela on a couple of things. Because she refuses to watch a couple of shows specifically because they're popular.
I am not like that anymore, but man, it was a problem when I was younger. So what did you come up with for a non-legendary pseudo non-starter?
Aggron.
Okay, yep, that was probably my favorite third gen Pokemon. That's a good one. Yeah, I forget which generation it was. I think it was Kalos, whichever generation that was. The one inspired by Paris, but they introduced Gudra, and I was like, okay, well, this thing is just too adorable not to put on my team, and that's when I finally broke my rule about not allowing non-pseudos on my team.
So it was Goomy, Sligoo, and Gudra. Yeah, that was Kalos.
Yeah. Goomy was just too adorable to not be allowed on my team.
Did you have one, Kaaya?
For
a favorite Pokemon?
My
favorite
brain
Pokemon?
is like gone.
Yeah, Kaaya is recovering from 4 days at Pax East.
Okay, yeah.
Eevee.
Eevee is another good one. Yep.
Yep, and all its evolutions.
And I'm sure it's no surprise to anybody that Eevee is one of my favorite Pokemon. Considering the fact that's what we named our daughter, especially since we named her that after the Pokemon because of the evolutions.
And not to mention that you got married as the evolutions.
Yeah, we kind of got married I was a shiny Embryon and my wife was a Sylveon.
Oh, that's fun.
Married at a Comic-Con. A question from John Knight for you, Hex. Have you watched Sentenced to be a Hero?
No, I have not. I'm gonna be honest. Is that a newer one? Is that an isekai? I am not.
It's airing right now, or it's just getting ready to wrap up for the spring season or the winter season.
Okay, and it's not an isekai.
No, it's not. It kind of sounds like it would be, but no, I am. I'm not up to date with a lot of the modern anime. I need to sit down and just watch some stuff. It has been a while. I have not had a lot of free time in the last year or two. But no, the problem is if I start an anime, I'm like, oh, this is good. I need to watch all of it right now. And then all of a sudden there goes 2 or 3 days. And I know that's going to happen. So I just try to, make that not happen as much as possible. But no, there's a bunch of them I need to sit down and check out. I'll have to add that one to my list.
I will be right back. I need to step away for a moment, so I'm going to leave it to Kaaya and Darren to continue with the chat, and I will return shortly.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. I love how what you have as a picture is still mine. You stole my picture.
Now, I think I asked you this the last time you were here, but your model reminds me of what was his name?
I think it was this conversation.
Yeah. It looks like Tapion and it's like a mixture of the Supreme Kai and Tapion.
Yep. You're very much right. That is where the hairstyle basically. I put my own little spin on it, but yeah, I pretty much just that was the very heavy inspiration there. Tapion, Supreme Kai, Zamas from
Zamasu.
yeah. Why my brain just quit working on the newest Dragon Ball. It's not Z, the one after
Super.
that. Okay, Super. Yep. Okay. Wow.
Super.
Okay.
Then we got Daima, and then they're actually going to be redoing Super apparently because
Yeah, I
they
heard
follow the
that.
manga.
Okay, well, I can appreciate that, but we've already had the beginning of Super like 3 times now. I'm not sure if we need another one, but it's fine. It's fine, I guess.
I guess.
But
Well, it would be nice to see the Gods of Destruction actually fight, like all 12 of them.
mhm. Yeah, I trust Toei. I mean, I kind of think that they see Dragon Ball as their cash cow. Whenever they just need some money, they put out anything Dragon Ball related because they know the fans will.
But
And it works.
You do realize that Dragon Ball's keeping the economy of Japan afloat right now, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I did see. I did see that.
Yeah. The fact that they publicly admit that is impressive.
Yeah. No, that is funny. I did see that. I mean, well, the Brawley movie was amazing. I had my issues with Daima canonically, but it was still pretty fun to watch. So I'm sure they'll do a good job with it.
To be honest, I like what they did with Broly, but you just can't erase the original Broly like that. I mean, come on.
I agree. My main issue with it was that Goku and Vegeta at that point are punching gods in the face, and then Brawly just steps out like, "Oh, I've been on this planet for 5 years. Oh, I'm as strong as you guys now." But you know, they had to put him there somehow.
Yep.
A lot of the more
Power
current
scaling.
power scaling in Dragon Ball is more just about fan service, which is fine. I'm here for that. There was a Dragon Ball Heroes. Was that the game that they were putting out?
Superheroes.
No, Superheroes was the movie. There was a game called Dragon. It was like a card game or something a digital card game. I'm not sure how it works. I didn't look into the game a whole lot, but they were putting out little non-canonical mini anime episodes for a while.
Yes.
And I followed. That was just nothing but fan service, and I ate it up. Like, well, we finally get to see Gotenks as an adult fight alongside Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. Yeah, okay. That absolutely makes no sense, but it is every, fan's dream, so I'm here for it.
Exactly, and the fact they brought back Cooler,
Golden Cooler of all things.
Golden Meta Cooler.
Yeah, yep.
Let's see. I'm still trying to figure out where they got Cumber from. They brought back Bardock.
Cumba was a just made up character for that specifically, I think. Like Hearts, I think was his name.
And then they brought back Turles, Bojack.
Turles was a character that needs more love. I was always sad Raditz never made a comeback either.
I'll agree. I think Nappa and Raditz should have actually had a actual comeback.
Yep.
But it would have also been interesting to see the rest of Bardock's crew come back.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that era of Saiyans, that generation, just didn't have the bond that Goku and Vegeta kind of developed. But I always wondered why Vegeta loved his people and his pride, but then had these magical wish granting orbs that could bring them back, and then just never cared to.
Well, why did they never wish King Kai back?
Yeah, that's kind of a running joke. Yeah.
And probably the biggest thing in Dragon Ball that I kind of wish they'd have gone back to was when they actually gave out numbers for their power to kind of keep up with versus going on a whim.
Like real power scaling. Yeah, when they actually had something tangible to measure it to. Yeah, I agree.
Because what was the last stated power level? It was when it was in the original when Goku and Frieza were fighting on Namek, and it was picked up by the the Frieza Force like planets away. It was like in the 120 million.
That sounds right. I feel like that was the upper scale of their power at the time. I don't know the exact number because I think different translations have tried to change the numbers around, but I feel like you're right, somewhere around there.
And then after that, you never heard of it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just kind of vaguely reference to whether you're more powerful or not. And honestly, as good as that was, because that was kind of like Dragon Ball Z's whole thing, getting into the aliens and space and energy measuring, I kind of miss the early days of Dragon Ball when it was just about martial arts and like magic and mysticism, adventure. I feel like Daima tried to get back into that, but it just didn't work as well.
And also, I miss Roshi's antics.
Roshi, yeah, he had a again nonsensical but pretty fun comeback in Super.
Oh yeah, but like honestly, what was your opinion on the Tournament of Power when they just replaced Boo with Frieza out of nowhere? I'm not gonna lie, that exhibition match had me like hyped up for Boo.
Well, I kind of liked I don't know if it was a filler episode, but when we got to see Fit Boo when he was like all lean and ripped, that was kind of. I personally feel like they should have had Boo instead of Tien, but I was glad to see Frieza. Frieza is one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters and always has been. So.
Now, what do you think would have happened if the Sorbet had been successful in resurrecting King Cold? Do you think Frieza would have ended up killing himself, or just because of his the way he ran things was so different from his father?
Possibly. I mean, it's hard to tell. At that point, Frieza definitely had no interest or, reliance on his dad. He was already way past his dad in power at that point. So,
well, he was always way past his dad in power.
Theoretically, yeah. There again, a lot of fan theories as to whether King Cold could unlock Frieza's form or not. I think in one of the I think this is canon. Frieza mentions that the only people able to actually hurt him were his parents. I don't know if that's a American translation or if that's actually in the manga, but so that alludes to King Cold having a little bit of power.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, if Frieza was always in his first form, King Cold was always significantly stronger because he stayed in the second form.
That's true, yeah.
I have never seen Dragon Ball, so I can't interject anything.
Yeah, we just kind of turned this into the Dragon Ball show for a little while. Sorry.
Oh, that's all good.
Okay. I ended up getting sick for my Pokemon show, or was it or did I fall asleep for it?
I think you were sick for the Pokemon because we did a Pokemon special. I knew very little. Kaaya wasn't a part of the show yet, and Angela knew almost nothing. So we were going to be relying. It was going to be a very heavy Darren topic show, and he missed it completely. So it was just kind of funny how it worked out, and we still give Darren crap about it, but that's what you do with friends.
About to say, and then the same thing happened to Angela on Attack on Titan.
No, we were doing a special talking about comparing the different types of conventions, and Angela had experience at gaming conventions, which up to that point I had never attended a gaming specific convention, a PAX or Syracuse Gaming Con or anything like that at the time. So we were going to rely, with her knowledge on different types of conventions, comparing a Comic-Con to an anime con to a sci-fi to, multi-genre to, train hobby show, which I went to as kids. And Angela ended up having a migraine and had to miss that show.
So the couple topic-specific shows we've had, the experts were unavailable for.
That's always a luck. It's either technical difficulties or missing personnel right when you need them. That's how it goes.
And at some point, and I think the next like specific show that I'd love to try to set up is like a VTuber roundtable with a bunch of different VTubers coming on. That one I'm kind of putting in Kaaya's hands because he's got more of the connection to VTubers than I do.
That won't be difficult to do, getting so many people together.
I mean, even 3 or 4, if you could find time to schedule everybody. I think the closest we had was when we had Night Marie and Kristara on at the same time.
Yep.
Which that was a lot of fun.
Didn't you have Pinbun and a couple others from OnKey all at the same time that were VTubers? I feel like we had like 3 or 4 VTubers on at once.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't really a VTuber episode. I was here for that one.
Yeah, that was. There was a bunch of VTubers on, but it was more of an on-key promotion than talking VTubing.
That's right.
Yep.
And looking back in the chat, Ross says, Hex, have you seen the anime cheat skill in another world, but become unrivaled in this world?
Man, I love the titles for some of these. They're just like 3 sentences slammed together. No, I have not seen that either, but that one does sound like an isekai.
I think that one is.
The guy goes back and forth between the worlds.
Okay. The last anime I watched, and I was actually late to the game on this one, was oh man, why is my brain? I keep trying to think of specific things, and my brain quits working. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's been happening to me all night.
What was the hero where he was like a loser and then got special powers that made him a god? I was complaining, and he started.
Solo level.
Okay. All right, so, I had to phone a friend to get the name for it. It was solo leveling.
It's okay. Well, usually when I phone a friend, it's the chat. I'll be like, "What was this?" And the next thing you know, like 3 people in chat, it's this anime or this character. Thank you.
Yeah, I was a bit late to the party on that one, but I decided it was finally time to sit down and watch it. It was pretty good.
I still haven't seen it.
I liked the beginning of it a lot more than I liked the ending of it, but it was pretty good.
I saw Ross. I saw your question to me about if I got a chance to meet Cassandra Lee Morris at a con, what merchandise of hers what character would I want to get of hers? And I'm trying to look back through because I'm not sure all the characters that she has voiced. The one that stands out looking at behind the voice actors so far is Cube, even though I've never seen the anime. I know of Cube. K-On! I don't think I would get anything K-On! Just because I watched like 4 episodes of that and couldn't get through it. And I know she's done more than what's shown on here. I should probably go to different page to try to find more of her stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to see. She was in Love Live, but I don't remember that character. I didn't watch My Hero that far, so I can't really say that. SAO I didn't watch.
Oh, I did.
So I don't.
Sword Art Online, that was a good one.
Yeah, I don't know that I could say that I have one. Maybe like I said, maybe Cube. But that's just going through, looking through like the shows that she's been in, and a lot of the stuff that she's been in is not shows like Sword Art Online. I started the original and thought it was an interesting concept, loved the video game aspect, and then when it turned into a romance segment, I was done. I was like,
I can
no.
see that. Yeah.
I was like, I came into it expecting, it started off like this. It looked like it was going to be really good, and all of a sudden, nothing. It went, oh, let's get all lovey-dovey, and it's like, Asuna was a cute character and all, but I was like, nah. And then I pissed off Angela by saying both Fury is what I was hoping SAO was going to be, and she got angry. Darren was there for that, and it would have been a clip that moment. She was like, wait, what? No. I'm like, listen to what I have to say before you get mad. Both Fury ended up being what I thought SEO was going to turn into. When SAO went from a really cool, oh, you're in a video game, and if you die in the video game, you die for real. Kind of a neat, oh, this is going to be kind of like an action type thing. And all of a sudden, oh, I love you. No, I'm not looking for that. I didn't want to go into this show for that. At that point, I was like, I'm done. I don't care if they continue it. I'm not watching the series. There was too many other things at the time to watch. Even still, there's usually, this is one of those rare seasons where I'm not watching. I think I'm watching like three to five shows for the winter season that's ending. Typically, I'm in double digits.
For me, Sword Art Online just sort of ran its course. I enjoyed the first series of it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of agree. I liked it better when it was about video games and him keeping his special talents a secret. But it was fine. I enjoyed the whole first one. And then they went to the fantasy world, and I was like, okay, well, this is kind of a different take on the same thing, I guess. But it's fun. I enjoyed it. I watched that one too. And then they went somewhere else, and I went, okay, this is never going to end. I think I'm done here. I'm hopping off at this station. So it was, I enjoyed it, but it kind of just went on too long for me with the same kind of concept.
Did you make it through Elysiization and War of the Underworld?
I made it through the fantasy arc where they were like all elves and pixies. I finished that one.
Oh, you stopped way early. Like,
okay,
so
yeah.
basically, Elysiization is Sword Art Online without Kirito as the main character.
Oh wow, I don't even know how that would work. I mean, I guess
it worked very well.
Okay.
Everybody says the best version of SAO is when Kirito is not there.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's what I've been told.
So Gun Gale is good, but Elysiization is like it sets itself apart from the rest of the series.
Okay.
So Kirito's in the first part of Elysiization, but for the good amount of the second half into War of the Underworld, he is not there for most of it. He's a vegetable.
Interesting. All right. Well, maybe I'll have to dive back into that then, because I didn't dislike it. I think I just kind of, like I said, I got tired of it. I was ready for something a little different. So maybe it's been enough time that I can turn it back on and check it out.
Okay. Well, Gun Gale is fun. It kind of follows the whole gist of seasons 1 and 2.
The sci-fi one?
And Alfheim. But in terms of Kirito being the stronger one, there are adventures and whatnot, but like I said, Elysiization, definitely watch that.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
And let's see. Question from John Knight for Kaaya. Would you like to give Hex your cookies?
You can have some. Yep. That's what they're there for. Eat them.
And Ross is saying, Doug, have you seen Toradora?
I don't think I watched Toradora.
I
Really?
need to. That's a classic. I really need to. That's like one of the shows that made the Tsundere famous. It's like one of the original famous Tsundere.
Yeah.
It's like I know the character that she voiced in that, Taiga. I've seen the character, but I've never actually watched the anime itself.
Depending on who you talk to, they would call that a crime.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to, saying I've never seen a Star Wars movie is a crime too.
That's actually impressive that you have avoided that for that long.
Well, same here.
The closest thing to Star Wars that I have seen is Spaceballs. Because that's just a cult classic. You have to watch that one.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad, but never seeing a Star Wars movie is genuinely it's almost like you would have to go out of your way to do that.
I was more into Star Trek than Star Wars, and most people I talk to, when I say I was a Trekkie and not a Warsy, they're like, I understand that now.
No, I mean that's a good alternative, but I mean it seems like for a while Star Trek or Star Wars was just in your face everywhere. I feel like it was just hard to avoid.
It's kind of like saying that I've never sat down and watched an entire Harry Potter movie. I've seen clips of Harry Potter movies, but I've never watched an entire Harry Potter movie.
I'm a bit more with you there. I was a bit too old when those came out for them to really be directed at me. I have younger siblings, so I did see the movies, but yeah, I was never too interested in that one. That's a bit more understandable to me, at least.
That was my generation's thing. Like when we were in elementary school and we had the accelerated reader program, those books were worth the most points because of how long they were. And we were incentivized to read because of those points if we did well on the tests that they gave. So, yeah. That was a great incentive for a lot of us to read them back then.
No, that makes sense.
Now, about to say, I really wish they had tried to adapt the Charlie Bones series into like a movie series, and then there's another series that there was a trilogy of that they actually did adapt one of the books into a movie, but unfortunately they never adapted the other two. Have you heard of the Ink series?
No.
Ink Heart, Ink Spell, and Ink Death.
Oh, yeah. I think Ink Heart sounds familiar. That's the one that got a movie, right?
Yes, that's the one that got the movie, and unfortunately, Ink Spell and Ink Death did not.
Okay.
That was the one where the girl and her father and her aunt or whatever, she was forbidden from reading books aloud because they could read characters out of the book into the real world. Or vice versa.
I remember watching the movie, but I don't remember anything about it.
Looking at chat, Ross is continuing with the Spaceballs talk, saying that he's ready for next year for Spaceballs 2.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
I don't go to the theater very often, but I think that's one I would go to the theater to see. My hope and pray is that Mel Brooks is still alive, because I know he's really, really up there in age. I just hope he's alive to see it to its completion and making the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of celebrities that we grew up with back in the 80s, 90s that are no longer with us. So it's like, let's hope that he can stick around for that.
I think they got John Candy's son to play his part. Is that right? Am I mistaken?
And Rick Moranis came out of retirement.
Oh, that's right. Man, I miss Rick Moranis.
I was surprised about that. I was like,
yeah.
What?
I mean, he said that he loved that role so much. I remember him in Ghostbusters too. I think he did a good job in Ghostbusters.
Oh, for me, it was Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep. The man that left show business just to take care of his kids.
You gotta admire that.
Yep.
Oh, a ton of respect for that. Now, prime example of family comes first.
Yep. Because he left right at the prime of his career.
And knowing that he wanted to take care of his family and be there for them, you can't fault that.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Too many people that because they're actors or because they're making good money, neglect family and things of that nature. And for him to just be like, you know what, things are going good, but I have a family. I want to be there for my kids to watch them grow up and da 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 da. It's like, do it. All the power to you. That's half the reason I work as hard as I do and as much as I do, is because I have a family and I have a 8-year-old, and I want to make sure that she's taken care of, and that my wife and daughter can have be able to do what they want to, as long as we can afford it. Lord knows that things ain't cheap anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Darren knows things ain't cheap anymore, especially when it comes to fuel costs.
Yeah.
I don't know what gasoline prices are in your areas, but it crossed the $4 mark up here.
We're in the 360s and 70s down here.
I got 30 cents off a gallon because of the grocery store card, and I was still paid. It was like $3.69 a gallon with 30 cents off.
Wow.
I'd say better than me.
Yeah, I don't have a diesel.
I was paying $5.50, almost $5.50 the other day.
Yeah, working for a railroad and knowing what diesel prices are at the gas pumps makes me glad that I don't have to pay to fill those locomotives, because those are 4,000. I think they're like 4,300 gallon fuel tanks on those road units.
I'm sure the railroad has an agreement with various refineries where they get it significantly cheaper than.
Yeah, but still. You can just imagine what the fuel tag would be on that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's no different than some of these airliners.
Yeah.
Or even worse, ships.
Yep. Because I know, like fuel for boats, especially if they have like fuel pumps at the docks and stuff like that, those prices are really hiked up too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially coming from Cape Cod, where it wasn't uncommon to see, boating areas that had their own fuel pumps. And I never had a boat, but I knew plenty of people who did.
Well, it's funny now that I think about it. There's several areas where the DOT here in North Carolina has their own fueling stations. Like, they're not even a gas station. They're just like an area with like 2 or 3 pumps set up specifically for DOT vehicles.
Yeah, I know the Ford dealership I used to work for, they had their own gas pump set up so that they could fill, somebody buys a vehicle, they can leave with a full tank and they just fill it right up on the property. not have to drive it to a gas station or anything.
That's nice. Now, unfortunately, I don't go through enough diesel to be able to house a tank on my property, but quite a few of my friends do.
You just go to their place and fill it.
Pretty much. But the only problem is I can't run off-road in anything but my equipment.
Yeah.
And that's generally what those tanks are for. I think he's got an off-road tank and he's got a def tank.
And I know Ross made the comment earlier about Kaaya sharing cookies. I do know that Angela is planning on making some baked goods for OnKey Hex. So when we're out there,
okay.
there should be some baked goods coming from Angela, and Kaaya might include stuff as well.
Yep.
And I might bring stuff as well, depending on
How well does Bojangles travel?
pretty much.
Bring some Bowberry biscuits.
Okay.
Well, we'll see if they can get Caitlin Barr to come to the convention, and you can give her case of the Bowberry biscuits.
There you go. I'll be like, hey, Caitlin, come to OnKey. I have Bowberry biscuits. Let's see what she says to that.
I'll bribe them.
The joke on that is we had Caitlin Barr on the show a few years ago, and Darren mentioned that he works for Bojangles, and she's from, I think, North Carolina originally.
She's from the Raleigh area. So
she's from the Raleigh area, so she's used to live not far from where Darren lives. And so they got to talking about Bojangles and how much she missed Bowberry biscuits because they didn't have them where she was living at the time. And Darren was like, "Oh, I can always try to send you some." So that kind of became a running joke. And then, like, shortly after COVID, she was a guest at Connecticut in Hartford, Connecticut. And I got to meet her there. And I was like, "I'm sorry, we weren't able to plan to get the Bowberry biscuits up here for you." And she started laughing at that. So she remembers.
That's fun.
You get those little jokes that go on. Then we say something and you're like, "What the hell are they talking about?"
Like,
that's okay. I'll just nod and smile.
I mean, at least Barry remembered bombing her wedding.
Yeah, that was fun. Getting to reconnect with Barry Boswick. He photobombed my wife and my wedding when we got married at a Comic-Con.
Oh.
He was in the middle of signing an autograph at the time, and from what I was told, he looked at the person and goes, "I'll be right back. There's something I have to do," and got up from the table and photobombed our wedding, and then went back to finish signing the autograph for the person.
That's funny.
So I forever have Barry Boswick in my wedding photo, like the whole family wedding photo. He looks like a Kenny Rogers stunt double standing in the back. That's one of the reasons why Megan Shipman, who got married the same day that I did, same day, month, and year that my wife and I did, says that we had the cooler wedding. I'm like, yeah, but you have the cooler job.
No, that is great. That's a good story.
And then Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees was a guest at that convention as well, and he sang at our reception because our reception was the after party. And he went up and sang 3 songs.
That's a pretty star-studded wedding, actually.
Yeah, there was one of the girls who was a sister in the TV show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She had the table right beside the cosplay stage that we got married on, so she had like a front row seat. And I forget how many celebrities were there at that convention, but it was interesting. It was a lot of fun. Maybe we can see if somebody wants to get married at OnKey.
Oh, don't give Penn ideas. We will have a special section.
What, a VTuber wedding?
Yeah.
I mean, I did just one of the VTubers that I follow on Twitch just was streaming earlier. It just announced that she got engaged last week.
Oh, that's good. It's not. I like hearing news like that. People being happy and
Oh yeah.
getting their life on track.
So anybody, if you're here you go, people. If you're going to be attending On Key, perfect place to propose or get married. Contact
Hey, if
Pin
you
Bun.
propose, send us pictures. I wanna see it.
Because I know Angela and her husband, he proposed to her at a convention. I know many other people who have gotten engaged at conventions. I only know of one other wedding at a convention because it happened the same year my wife and I got married, but it was earlier in the year. And chat is going crazy. John Knight says tomorrow is the 25th anniversary of Fairly Odd Parents. What the actual hell?
Wow, I don't.
Wow.
And Ross says, should we tell Hex that there's an anime coming out about being reincarnated as a rib?
A what?
A rib.
And that's not a lie.
It's not.
A rib, like the
Yes.
bone?
Yeah, as a hero's rib cage, as a rib in a hero. I forget what the title of the actual anime is. I'm trying to look that up real quick because we talked about it.
They're just playing like Mad Libs with these titles anymore, aren't they?
They're throwing ideas on a board and just like, okay, let's go with this one.
I have to say, or what can we reincarnate into next? Because we've gone from a slime to a sword to a vending machine,
A spider.
down to a rib. Yes,
Yeah, spider.
The spider one was good.
The vending machine was better than it should have been. Because I remember watching the vending machine one, expecting it to suck, and because I wanted to tear it apart. And you can go back in shows before it originally aired of me being like, I'm expecting this thing to be crap, and it ended up actually being really good. That's when Angela said that's when Angela said she will never watch.
On principle.
So,
I mean, it's entirely possible that it's going to be just like a really great anime. Like I believe that people could make it work. I don't know how people can come up with this. Sometimes it blows my idea, the thought process people have to, because somebody thought about that and just went, yeah, this is it.
Oh yeah. Then there was the one about getting reincarnated as a pig. I started that one and forgot to finish it.
Darren, you can see chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Read this title out.
Okay. Megami Isekai Tensei Nani na Naritai Desu ka Oreyusha no Rokutsu de.
That's the anime about being reincarnated into a rib.
Okay.
The synopsis of it, the protagonist of the tale, simply referred to as I, experiences an endless cycle of reincarnation. The narrative takes place in a different universe where people are free to select their next form. However, the waiting list for popular roles like Demon King or hero with cheat skills in a harem has reached 50,000 years due to a recent spike in applications. The protagonist decides to repeatedly reincarnate into increasingly strange forms because he refuses to wait. These roles include the rib of a hero in charge of a harem, a hermit crab, a vegetable, and even an explosive used to blow up blissfully happy couples.
Okay, no, that sounds a lot more fun now. The description kind of sold me. I might have to watch that.
We made an unofficial agreement here that all four of us have to watch this show every week and give our opinions, including Angela, who hates isekai with a passion.
I don't hate. I just think that I think I'm ready for the market to slow down on isekai a little bit. That might be a hot take. I know it's very popular, but I'm
isekai trash, and I'm sick of it.
Okay.
I love good isekais, and it's just
I-
been so overdone.
I feel like the description that you were reading was literally just making fun of that. Like, oh, there's so
That's
many
why-
isekais now. Everybody's getting reincarnated. What is the wait time for these? I'm just going to be a frog. And
Yeah.
that's kind of funny.
That's what makes it more appealing to me. Is it almost feels like it's taking a scary like the movie Scary Movie that makes fun of
Yeah.
horror films. It feels like it's taking that kind of role against isekai genre.
Yeah, it kind of sold me a little bit. That's funny.
I have to say, Hex, you're not Captain Ginyu. So he technically
Yeah.
did get reincarnated into a frog.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it's gonna debut April 8th. So we'll have to. I'm sure Darren will find a site that has it, because it doesn't have a licensor as of yet. So I don't think you're going to find it on Crunchyroll or High Dive at the moment. But I know Darren has his ways of finding stuff, and can get us the links.
I've had to do that for a few shows before too.
But my God, we are out of time. I just saw in chat Ross saying good night. I'm like, wait, oh shit, it's 10.
Okay.
But I want to thank you, Hex, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of the last minute pop in. Thank you for letting me on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure having you on. Always a pleasure chatting with you guys from OnKey. Again, we are proud to be partners with OnKey. Excited to be able to get out there in November. For those of you who want to attend, it's November 20th through 22nd. It's going to be in Danvers, Massachusetts, on the outskirts of Boston.
Follow us on X/Twitter for updated information.
And if you have Discord, you can find them on the Discord server and be kept in the loop that way as well, and chat with some really, really cool people, including Hex and Pinbun that we were talking about before.
And Anime-Zing Radio.
Anywhere that people can find more information about you as well? Any conventions that you're going to be at, or?
Me specifically, no. OnKey, like we mentioned, will be at Anime Boston coming up, so you can look for us there. All of our socials are listed on our webpage, onkeyexpo.com. So you can, find all our links to our Discord, our Twitter, our Instagram, everything's on there. But Anime Boston is the one coming up. That's where we're going to be. So that's our kind of current focus right now.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, Hex. Thank you, Kaaya and Darren, for being able to make it to the show. I know, Kaaya, you're trying to conserve strength because of
I'm fighting sleep right now.
a 4-day busy con like PAX East. Angela just did not have the energy, which is why she didn't join us tonight, because not only was she an attendee, but she was an enforcer, so she was working PAX East.
Yep. Yeah, she didn't have the luxury of leaving at like 1-2 o'clock.
And thank you to everybody who showed up in the chat. It was great seeing John and Ross and None of Your Business and everybody who was in there. We'll be back again next Sunday with more Anime-Zing Radio, where Kaaya will give Kaaya and maybe Angela, if she has the energy, can give an Anime Boston review. And until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I may stream a game again this week, depending on my work schedule, because I do have fun doing that, and I might have time tomorrow to play a little bit more Stardew Valley, which I played the other day. And who knows, maybe I can start a collab world with Kaaya, because Kaaya, I think you said you have Stardew Valley too.
I have a board game for Stardew Valley.
Oh, you have the board game? You don't have the
I bought the board game. We can play the board game.
They made a board game of Stardew
Yeah,
Valley?
it is. I found it, and I'm like, I gotta buy this.
What the? I saw a VTuber playing Stardew Valley like last week, and I was like, I haven't played that in a while. That's what made me want to stream it the other day. But
The game's got a lot of lasting power.
And they've done a lot of updates since the last time I had played it. I'm like, what is all this stuff? There's new items, and
They just put one out. Yeah, they're still doing stuff.
so until then, everybody have a wonderful night. Ross has one last thing before we leave. Reminder of the VTuber name he mentioned earlier, Stella Trix Starship VTuber. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you again here for more Anime-Zing Radio on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.